Today we're going to be looking at some drum bus processing. I'm going to show you guys some of the processing that I use on my drum bus. So what we have is about 8 tracks of drums, and I have them bus to an auxiliary track, and let's just listen to it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to just send it to an auxiliary track and just polish it off. There's different ways that you can actually do this, different plugins. I really don't have any set method that I use to do this, but today's video, I'm going to be using Slate plugins, the Slate Mix Rack, and a couple of other plugins that I like to use just to achieve the sound that I want to achieve. You guys just sit back and just listen to how we take this drum bus to the next level. Okay, so what I want to do first is I'm going to pull out my Slate Digital virtual mix rack. I like to get rid of everything on here and just start fresh. So first I pulled out the FG Bomber and I put the tone on tight, and I just boosted up the drive by like 6 dB and also put the intensity about 33. And this adds some nice color to it, also some compression to it. It gives it a nice character that I can hear it working. So let's A/B that. So you see the kick definitely sounds more punchier. The snare has a little more pop to it. So that's why I like that FG Bomber first. Let's go ahead and put a little EQ on here. And this is kind of like an API style EQ. Hold on, let me click that top piece. There we go. And I'm going to just mess around with some frequencies and I'll tap back in. Once again, let's listen to it in solo. So as you hear, I bought some good bottom end out of the drum loop, and I bought some nice frequencies out, bought out that shaker a little bit, and then I put a little top end on about 10K. I did like a 4 dB boost, but I like this FGA EQ in my chain. So next up in the chain, what I want to do is I want to add some color, little harmonics to these drums. We're going to go ahead and throw this revival on here, and we're just going to play around with it. And this is why I like the revival, because it's only 2 knobs. You got a thickness knob and you got a shimmer knob. So the shimmer is kind of bringing some top end harmonics into it, and then you have the thickness, which is bringing some low end harmonics into it. So I pretty much adjusted it like this, as you see. So this is before we added the shimmer, and I'm going to just do an A-B back and forth so you can hear the difference. I like how that sounds. It's giving it a nice feel. So let's take, I'm going to turn this whole rack off. You can hear the difference. So this is before. And this is after. So as you see, I used 3 modules out this Slate virtual mix rack. I used the FG Bomber, the FGA EQ, and the Revival. And just with those 3 plugins, I was able to enhance my drum bus, gave it some nice harmonics to it. That's what I would use the Slate for. Now I just want to fine tune it. So what I like to use on the fine tuning, I like to come behind with the KH Comp 1. And this is a compressor, and we're just going to tune this in and just bring the drums to sit in the right level. Also adding a little extra punch with the drums. what I did was got the compressor working with the threshold, and I like this because it has four different tones. You have like a Hilbert detection, a vintage protection, a peak protection. Doesn't trigger as hard. And I also have my attack pretty medium with a super fast release. Also, I like to leave the ratio at 2-to-1 on my drum bus. I gave it probably like 2 or 1.5 dB gain in the makeup, and also I rolled off the low edge, so it's not compressing any frequencies lower than like around 50 hertz. So from 50 hertz down is not being compressed, right? This is why I like this compressor. Also, it has a nice little tone to it. The wet dry, and just rolled it off a little bit to where I like it, so you can dial in the exact amount of compression that you like. So what we're gonna do is A/B it. I'm gonna play it with the engage and then with it off, and you can hear what it adds to the drum bus. Let's go. Okay, so as you hear, it's definitely bringing it out a little more, bringing the drums out a little more. And last but not least, what I like to do is I want to go in here and I'm going to pull out one of my tape machines just to give it some good tape saturation. And for my drum bus, I like to use the 440, and this is going to be the last thing, my signal chain. So I like to use this tape machine 440. I'm going to mess around with it, just give it a little saturation and just give it an overall glue, just the final glue on that drum bus. So we're going to A/B it back and forth. What I did was I just boosted the input a little bit just to get it going to tape just a little hotter, bring some nice coloration into it. Also, I adjusted it. I boosted 1.9 dB, almost 2 dBs. But then on the output, I brought it down almost 1 dB. And the stereo, the Marlin transport, I left everything the same. I didn't change the EQ frequencies. I just want an overall glue, not doing too much, but just make everything cohesive. And that's what I did. So let's A/B that. As you see, we were able to make it a little more cohesive, bring a nice tone in it. With this tape machine 440, it helped the kick pop out just a little more, and we pretty much have our drums set up. So I just wanted to tap in with you guys. But once again, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified on some new videos. This is EK for Dead End Studios. Thank you. We out.